hopefully you've decided you want to clean those water lines. How are we going to do that? Make sure there's adequate air release. Open up the ends. After the birds are gone, power flush those lines to remove sediment and loosen up the heavy soils. Make sure your standpipes are working. Get them involved in the process. Y'all know those standpipes are nasty. You've seen them. Prepare the system to add water line cleaner. Be sure to follow label instructions for use and safe handling. Take note of the proper concentration. Too little product can be a waste of time and money. So this is what JFL recommends, and they have instruction sheets on it. Option 1 is that you can take that medicator, you're ready to clean the lines, and let's say you're going to put proxy-clean in. Take that medicator, you can adjust it to 1 to 100 or 1 to 128, leave the solution in there for 48 hours, and then flush it out. Option 2, you can adjust your medicator to 3 to 100, leave the solution and proxy-clean in the line for 12 hours, and flush it out. Proxy-clean themselves recommends that you use what's called a proportional pump, and it's this guy right here. Super easy to use, but what it does is it puts a 3% solution in there. And a 3% solution is what's really recommended to properly clean these lines when the facilities are empty. All you have to do is unscrew the hoses off where the medicator was screwed into, unscrew the medicator hoses, screw these hoses in. There's a 3% tip on here, and you just drop the weight, the intake valve has a weight on it, right into the jug, and it pulls a 3% solution for you. You can flush your barns with that, leave it in for 24 hours typically. A lot of the breeder facilities, because you'll go so long before you can clean your lines, will have them leave it in for 48 hours. It will not harm any rubber pieces, does not hurt your water lines to leave it in for that long. So if you wanted to figure out how much product you're going to need, let's say you do decide you want to clean, and so what's this going to cost me, which is what everybody figures on. If you did that medicator at 1 to 100, a gallon of proxy-clean, 3.8 liters, will clean about 4,500 feet of water lines. If you set it at 3 to 100, a 3.8 liter container of proxy-clean will clean about 1,500 feet of water lines. And so in the States, when we figure it, this 3% solution that we do, a 400-foot house is going to take about 1.5 gallons. A 500-foot house is going to take almost 2 gallons. So that just gives you an idea. Okay. I hate to tell y'all to do this. I don't like telling this part, but I have to because it's part of the process. I have to do it properly. So he is triggering those nipple drinkers. When you get product that you're cleaning lines with into these systems, y'all remember that cross section in the nipple drinker and all the crooks and crannies that are in there. You need to go through and trigger those nipple drinkers. You've got to get product down into those wells and underneath and all around. So you got to trigger him to get it down in there. He's doing it with the broom. I put it about elbow height, and I just book it through the barn, triggering those nipple drinkers. And then you've got to come through and you've got to do it with fresh water too. And I had somebody give me a little hint about the fresh water thing. If you're flushing the lines and you know you've got all the product out, keep the lines on flush and then run through and do it real quick, because the pressure on those nipple drinkers will help clean out and get the fresh water into those little nipple wells better. My other tip is teenagers. I have 3 teenage boys, and they're awesome at this. Breeder protocol. Clean the lines with a 3% solution of proxy-clean. So let's say that you are ready to do something about your water. This is what I recommend. 3% solution of proxy-clean after the next flock. Next time your facility is empty. To maintain the system during the flock, and if you wanted to start it today, you could do it. Put proxy-clean at a rate of 8 ounces into 5 gallons of water, and then use the medicator to put that into the system. That is a good basic amount to use just to maintain those water lines. You don't have anything else going on. You don't have a gas chlorination system going on. You're not going to spend $25,000, $30,000 to put some kind of system in. This is a great place to start. If you will do that once a week for 24 hours, it should help you maintain those water lines. Use proxy-clean on flock level, which is at 8 ounces into 5 gallons for 24 hours after the addition of any supplemental products. So if you do decide that you have to add margarita mix to this system, at least come behind it and add some proxy-clean for 24 hours. And then we recommend that you use it for 7 days after the addition of vaccine to the water system, just because that vaccine adds so much food for those bacteria. Descaling. After you have gone through with the line cleaner and you've cleaned out the biofilm that's built up in those water lines, the organic load that's in those water lines, you can come through and descale. If you have a huge mineral issue, always a good idea, because those minerals build up inside those pipes. Gives a great place for bacteria to cling to. And even though you may have cleaned them out this flock, you've still got minerals in there. The next flock that comes in, or the next bacteria that comes in, he's got a great place to hide if you've got minerals caked up on those pipes. How to do that: remove the heavy soils first with a 3% solution. Proxy-clean, get rid of the biofilm, get rid of that organic buildup, and then lower the water to a pH of 5. And this is not continuous use, so it's not going to avoid the warranties. This is a one-time shot that you're doing to get these lines clean. You can use Jepicid to do that, and then use a stemmer pump and let the water sit for 24 hours before flushing with fresh water. So that should do a decent job of descaling these lines. Water is an important nutrient. You're adding something else to the bird's diet with the water source that you've got. You can control how clean the water is that you give your birds. You can filter, you can use sedimentation tanks, you can use treatments, you can use chlorine to bind stuff up, you can use all kinds of ways in order to treat this water. Quality water can be an easy and inexpensive way to grow a better, healthier bird. Keep this simple. It's the first thing when I go out to growers, start asking them, what have you added to this water system? And I'm amazed at the number of people that are looking for that magic pill, and they're adding all kinds of stuff. Every week they're adding something new, looking for something to make these birds perform better. More is, I always get them off of it. When I really do have a problem with the facility, I get them off of everything. We get the lines clean and we get their water clean. That's the magic pill. You're just looking for clean water. There it is. So that's the goal. More is not always better with water treatments. The birds will tell you if your water program is right. If you're growing birds with no water program in place, you are growing bacteria. And the ultimate question, are you confident enough in what you're doing out there that you will go to the end of the water line and take a drink of water? So, one other thing I want to add before I wrap up is I always feel it's important that I mention you. Yes, I work for proxy-clean, but when I worked for the University of Arkansas and we started this process where we were recommending, well, our goal was to just get something in the growers' hands that they could use that was not expensive, it was not complicated, they didn't have to have a tech, some kind of field service tech come out and do it for them. They just had a product that they could use for a day on the breeder side that helped them with their water quality. And so we started suggesting this. We did it with the broilers too, because we had done some test flocks and they performed beautifully. But what we ran into is when people would use it, started using a hydrogen peroxide in their water line, they would call us and they'd say, hey, my nipple's clogged. You told me to put it in for 24 hours and now my nipples have clogged up. So we would go out there and inevitably they had used another hydrogen peroxide product. They'd either use the technical grade, which was in that big old yellow blue 55-gallon drum, or they had used something they had out in the storage building. And at the time, I didn't know why it was any different. I worked for the University of Arkansas, not proxy-clean. I didn't care. I just knew that proxy-clean was the one that always worked. And so we would tell them, well, there's your mistake. You've got to use the proxy-clean. Now I understand that I work for proxy-clean, why it's different. It is different than just a technical grade hydrogen peroxide. It has proprietary ingredients in it. And one of those is a heat-stable ingredient that keeps it from breaking down in higher temperatures. So other hydrogen peroxide products will break down at about 76 degrees. Think about what's in the top of the barn. It's a heck of a lot more than 76 degrees. Proxy-Clean stays stable up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Another part of Proxy-Clean is that they have a decomposition catalyst. And so where other hydrogen peroxides will bind to an organic and oxidize it and then it's finished, Proxy-Clean will bind to an organic, it oxidizes it, it releases, and it's still active. So it moves to the next organic, binds to it, and works to oxidize it. So you have a residual effect that can work its way down your line and into your system. And that's why it was different. So heads up there. Don't walk in tomorrow, use a technical grade hydrogen peroxide for 24 hours on these breeders and think that it's all going to go well. It might go fine, but there's a good chance it's going to clog your nipple drinkers up.